Cheese.
Hello. See, you can't. You don't have the interrupting charisma of one Dean Cuddy.
I don't even pretend. I just wanted to say cheese because you counted down.
I miss playing with Dean. Did I ever play with
You
Dean?
didn't play with Dean.
You lurked in the background as I played with Dean.
I did lurk.
That's like half. You know, you're halfway there.
I mean, that's the Jarviskjir family.
If you round up.
Yeah, we're like a family here. Which means
A
I'm not going to
mafia
give you
family.
rights or pay you or anything like that. Just use you for your emotional labor.
Like a family.
Like a family.
Or was that just my experience?
Welcome to Jarviskjir Mind Over Matter. In today's session, you're going to go hunt a giant in some deep dwarven farmlands. Last week, you secured the allegiance of the Basteron family, and Bogdan got a legendary hammer crafted by his ancestors that is unbreaking and unbreakable, and is ready to fuck some shit up, as well as your new armor and stuff like that.
Speaking of fucking shit up, we also got some slippery oil.
Ugh, stop saying it.
That is a good point. Oil of slipperiness, which is worse
Exactly.
Oh, that's
somehow.
even worse.
Yeah, I knew that you would like that even less.
And yet you did it anyway.
Oh yeah, well, Oil of Slipperiness is a Gary Gygax classic, I'd imagine. I bet that goes all the way back to first edition.
Probably.
You got a lot of information about the giant that devoured a large amount of stores. Very reliable information from an old man. And you have promised you will slay the giant in return for fame and perhaps fortune, and maybe one of the party members getting eaten alive.
And not being spiked by their spikiness.
Yes, the dwarves out here are spiky. Good remembering.
How can I forget? It's a visceral image. It really depends on what colour the spikes are.
Well, that would depend.
Don't say skin colour.
Fleshy.
No, I think, well, sticky colours. Go to the farmland, get promised to the
Color of
farmland.
half-dried glue.
That's not far off. The colour I imagine, actually. Yeah, that's the thing. We often forget that the deep dwarves are a little alien. Mostly some of the casts.
And when you say little, is that a short joke?
Oh,
Yes.
that's it. That's our last game. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
That's for show.
That's the show.
What a short campaign.
Hey.
Oh, God.
What is that? Is that this session's running current meme?
No. I would never allow it. Don't make me be short with you, Ian. Okay.
I'm about to throw a table. I'm about to fuck some shit up.
Zoe, why do you have such a short fuse?
So, you're here in the Ozian Bounty. It is the farming region of Abunar,
Stop
the
laughing,
deep
you're
dwarven
just
country.
validating him.
And it is where the majority of farming goods are made. You are amongst the hills, which have all of these fungal farmlands upon them, kind of like rice paddies in the way that they're kind of organized and arranged. Some things have already been harvested, some fields are going out to fallow. There's a lot of work happening in the kind of central town, but at the same time, there is also a lot of damage and strain and tension. Yes, Zoe?
Question. Me at the mid front here.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, are there deep fish in the rice paddy water furrows? Are
There
fish
should
on-
be, but I don't think there would be.
blind fish.
I don't
That's still
think the
koi-like.
dwarves would allow it.
Oh.
I think that's one of those things that probably like would be maybe for other communities, but I think the dwarves like this is a very well maintained, very well kept farmland. It's just a giant trampled through. And
Maybe if we found an abandoned village with rice paddies,
Yeah.
we'd find fish.
there's also not that much water. Well, there is now because it's the rainy season, but usually it wouldn't. So all the water is soaking in right now, and that will be good for the rest of the year, largely, in theory, if everything goes as planned. So, with that said, what do you guys want to do in town? Is there anything you want to go do in town before you head over eastways towards the hills where the giant was sighted, or running off to?
I'm ready to just go find a giant. How about y'all?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yike.
Yite.
I'm down to giant.
Okay.
I will, because otherwise I foresee this going terribly. I'm going to immediately blow a spell slot and use a twin spell enhancer. Keyboard, cooperate, please. And twin spell enhance ability on wisdom on myself and Oshun, who probably has the highest wisdom.
Thanks, babe.
Sure.
So,
Ocean says.
Okay. And you guys can leave the town and head east, which is where these large rocky hills are, where even with the well-organized rigmarole of farming, nothing grows up here. They are kind of loose shale and slate, almost like a pebbly hill. And there's a good few of them that you're going to have to either climb over or go slowly around. What is it that you guys want? How do you want to approach this?
We can't go over it. We'll have to go around it.
You could go over it.
Well,
No one?
I think we should go around because if we're hunting a giant, following the lowlands might help us sneak up on it, or at least close distance. To that end, I'm keeping an ear out. I'm feeling for vibrations. I'm actively trying to find signs of giant.
Okay. Excellent.
Listen, that feed my faux thumb.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If I hear any of that,
You know you're in giant country. Yeah, give me a perception check. You can be traveling kind of slow enough, not to be fully stealthy, but slow enough that you can keep an ear to the ground, not literally. That would be a very weird way to walk. I can see it in Gmod now.
oh, I'm muted.
Yeah,
Perception check.
Yeah, perception
Yeah.
check. You can't really seem to notice anything. There is kind of the buzzing of bugs, and of course the rain, which I definitely should have sound effects for. But there is heavy rain going on right now, which it makes it quite hard to hear anything specific. There we go. Yeah, I hope you went to the bathroom before we started. Yeah. And that really makes it pretty hard, because you've got the sound of the rain on the stone, which is very cacophonous in general. Now, two of you do have advantage on wisdom checks right now. If you two would like to make perception checks, you would have advantage.
Quite like to make a perception check, please, Oliver.
Do you want me to as well?
Well, you might as well. I mean, I got an 11.
Because you got so poor.
Well, I mean, realistically, we are all listing out, so
If you feel like it.
Elf ears here?
you do have the best modifier for perception, which is a 1.
That's the thing. A party either has everyone with good perception and good wisdom, or no one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the
Okay.
law.
So, as you're traveling, Ocean is, of course, very attuned to such vibrations and things, even in harsh, rocky climates, and even in the rain and dank caves. As you are traveling, you actually get a pretty good idea where the giant would be, because you've, lived with creatures roughing it in terrain like this. It would be past some of these hills by an area of rubble and detritus that seems larger. Maybe it came down from the ceiling. Maybe maybe it's actually been gathered by the giant, even. It's kind of hard to tell because it's quite far away, but you're pretty sure that would be where it is. But you are aware, as you are keeping an ear out, of rock starting to slide down the closest hill you're traveling around. Rock sliding down a hill like this could be natural, but more likely it's something on top of the hill coming out of some kind of nest.
God, the scariest part in like all of Lord of the Rings is when Gollum's fucking coming down the side of the cliff and like pebbles. It freaks me out.
It's exactly that kind of terrain. Yeah.
Don't like it.
But you guys aren't on the hill. You're at the bottom of the hill, which means the things on top of the hill can have a nice, easy avenue to eat you.
Places to hide around here.
You could hide behind rocks and terrain if you wanted to try some stealth rolls real quick. Yeah.
Yes, my -1 dex and full plate man shall do that.
It's worth a try. At least confirm what we're up against.
Oh, look at that.
It wasn't worth a try.
Well, Ocean might get a good stealth check.
I mean, to be fair, they could roll on that one on perception.
You guys run back towards a little rock with a large rocky outcrop of rubble. Which is, I'm just seeing it in like a Scooby-Doo animated way in my head. And we'll see what the creatures see. Yeah, it seems that the creatures making their way down the hill did see you. They are small things that from a distance kind of look like spidery silhouettes, but they only have 4 legs, not 8. As they are getting closer, it is time for the rolling of initiative. When everything's loaded in, of course.
Oh god, that token triggers me. You've just triggered my PTSD, Ollie.
It's the closest tokens I could get. They are not entirely accurate. I will describe the creatures post haste. And I will put their monster manual page in my lap so I can reference it. Ah. Not the best initiative roll from them. Which is kind of fitting. These creatures are ungainfully clattering their way down the hill. When it goes from a sneaky hunting to a chase, it's just sending more rock down the hill. They're moving in this very twitchy way with their 4 spindly limbs.
I hope they slip and fall.
No, they definitely look like they could. Ocean, you actually are gonna get the first reaction to this as they are making their way down.
Ocean will call, like, what do you want? And probably ready. What shall I ready? Guiding bolt. I like that one. I was gonna say something like spiritual weapon or a dagger, but those that tend to be unfortunate.
It's up to you.
Ah, yes, the unfortunate dagger.
What do you want to do instead?
Do they understand me? Do they look like they understand me?
They do not react in any way to your speech as they continue clattering down the hillside.
Undercommon? not working?
I assume that would have been what you spoken in, yeah.
Yes.
If they do understand, they don't react.
Can I tell what they are? Because they sound a bit like spiderkin, but they don't really seem right.
Why don't you give me a nature check?
Yeah, I'll give you a nature check.
Never comes up.
I looked
They.
at your 7 and it fucked me.
You're welcome.
7
Lucky
inception.
sevens.
7 guy. They are clearly not spiderkin. They are clearly not arachnids, and if they don't seem to share that kind of nature, I guess, of spiderkin that you might be able to communicate with. If they are communicating, they're communicating themselves. But I'll give you a bit more of a better description as they're rushing away down the hills. They are essentially an insectoid-like creature with 4 limbs around a central kind of orb-like body with a singular eye, hence using beholdery tokens for them. If they have a mouth, you can't see it. If they have like anything else like that, you can't see it. It's almost like an eye and then just gangly legs with kind of like piercing implements, like digging into the stone and crunching their way down. You don't recognize them. They're not native to your environment, at the very least.
I will convey that, even though it's not very useful information. Ooh, that was my hand, I'm sorry. Can I take the
Your
19?
hand knows
No,
exactly.
you can't take the 19.
But the hand ain't snitching.
Yeah, I think that's my turn.
Okay.
I feel like that's for roll 20. That's for roll 20 equivalent to. Oops! I dropped my dice by accident. Can I re-roll?
It is. It's literally that. Bogdan, what do you want to do?
I don't know how fast these things are. I think I will also try my hand at a nature check. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I rolled
Oh my
marginally
God.
better.
The 7.
They definitely seem like creatures native to this environment, but this environment is not where you've grown up or spent much time in. So, while unnatural seeming, regular Underrealm degrees of unnatural. They are native creatures to this area at the very least.
Okay, then I'm just gonna dodge.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
A fine choice, sir. Fine choice indeed. This one's gonna scuttle down the hill a ways, and a green and black energy is going to emanate around the eye, and there's gonna be a piercing beam of it towards Bogdan. Roll Constitution with advantage, because you're dodging.
I wasn't expecting that.
You can quickly throw armor or even rock in the way of the beam. It kind of dissipates. I wouldn't say harmlessly, but without harming you. This one is going to fire a beam at Ocean. Can you give me a Constitution check?
Yeah. With a readied action, am I able to, after seeing it fire, can I then do the guiding bolt?
I didn't... did you ready Guiding Bolt?
I did. I may not have spoken loudly enough.
I don't...
I don't think you set a trigger.
Yeah,
You
so
said,
the way
"I'll
ready
ready
actions
guiding
work in D&D 5e is that they have to have a trigger. It's like in a lot of systems with guns, you can have the I'm in position to shoot whatever comes around the corner. In this one, it's more okay, when they attack, I'm going to attack back. So
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. What did you want me to do? Dodge.
Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna get hit by the beam. It immediately fills you with a heavy, painful feeling. It's going to be 8 necrotic damage.
Oh lord.
Oh lord.
Gross.
In fact, actually, he would have had to move kind of more
Necrosis.
this way. This one will just be running down the hill. Going the long way around. Scuttling. Ashal.
You two making your nature checks and everything. Charles is just going to drop a maelstrom right in the middle of those two to pull them together.
Okay.
Hopefully pull them together.
They're stronger than they look. They both make 15.
Fair enough. Yeah. Was expecting
So,
them to be weak, honestly.
Rock is going to... Like, all the loose rock gets flown into the air. With the creatures, they kind of hunker down very effectively into the stone.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't have anything extra.
Okay. Well, talk about extra. It's Oshun.
I was trying to think of a joke, but you got there.
I always got a joke in my heart.
Guiding bolt, the one that fired at. Whoa, shit! Damn!
The one to fight at you?
No, the one that fired at Whoa Shit Damn. Pay attention.
At Bogdan.
It could
because, like,
almost be like a name for someone down here. I don't know who. Yeah, that. Well, guess what? That's a hit
Push it
with a
down.
20.
Nice. Oh,
I mean, you should do that level 1 as you declare higher at the time.
that's a good. Okay.
It's still massive.
Well,
It is still massive damage. It does not immediately obliterate the creature from this
Oh
plane.
boy.
But
I really wanted it to Dragon Ball just fade
yeah,
away.
well, it's very. I was imagining like flash of light, you know, from
Yeah.
the hand, and you just see it kind of like awkwardly pull itself up from the area, smoking and smoldering, layers of its chitin burnt away, but still able to move. Very much bloodied though. You like to move, or are you happy where you're at?
I'm distracted by all of the old shit dams. I can't flank anything, but I think I'm gonna stay where I am. Yeah, I think I'm good for now.
Okay, next should be Bogdan.
Alright, I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna ready an attack with Coal Grinder. The first one of these chumps to get close enough for me to give him a fierce wallop.
Hell yeah. The one that just got blapped is actually going to back up the hill more and attempt to shoot you with the beams, so give me a constitution save, Bogdan.
First of all, rude.
Yeah, they actually has enough strategy to be like, I got hit by a crit, I'm gonna back up. You don't even need to worry about it a little bit. And this one is going to go in for melee, which means you can whap it.
I will. I'm going to bust a move. The move is this.
He puts
Did
his
I crit?
mouth-
That is a miss. No.
Why did it roll so many d6s?
It's because it was re-rolling it because of your great weapon fighter, I think. No.
I don't have a great weapon fighter.
I don't know why it rolled so many d6s.
Okay.
It rolled the right amount in the...
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
Sometimes
So-
Roll20 does a thing.
Whatever, it's a miss.
Yeah,
It is then going to make an attack with its pincery legs, which is going to hit.
Now, remember, I have more AC now.
Yeah.
I have 19 AC.
It hits a 22.
Okay.
Though I do need to get that in my brain. The 19 AC. It's going to be 8 piercing damage, as it basically just strikes you with its leg. And then it's going to attack again, which is going to miss. And the last
Oh
one
boy,
is just
keep
going
going.
to scuttle at max speed.
Spod is approached very fast. We have
Oh,
lost
Lord.
visual on Spod.
They're coming from all sides.
They've surrounded us. Call in
The
artillery.
smell, the smell of antiseptic fills the air, and the
Gross.
chittering of strange creatures from the fell rises as Ashal is going to cast Toll the Dead on the one that Ocean Kamehameha.
Yeah. Ocean's just an
If it
anime.
dies, she'll be like, I weakened it for you. I loosened the pickle jar.
Oh, that's exactly it. Get rid of it once.
It's going to fail, and it is going to just kind of melt into fell goop from the tolling.
And I think actually Ashal will go 1, 2, 3. Move the turn order so I can see. 4,
That
4,
rhymes.
5.
I couldn't get to my unmute fast enough.
Move
but
the
you-
turn order so I can see. Gonna shoot the monsters running at me.
Have you ever considered an alternative career as a rapper, Ollie?
I mean, have you seen these streams? If it were possible to take all of the weird raps that I have done on these streams and sell them in like an album, I would have done it already. But so many of them are lost to time.
You need like a dedicated rapping clip.
F's in chat for Ollie's raps.
My rap career was over before it started. But my theatre Broadway career has yet begun. Ocean, do your shit.
Pew pew on this one.
Okay. That's a hit.
High rolls for this.
Well, is this jinxing it or is this good luck?
Don't say that. I've got a minus my level 1 spells by 2.
Yep. It takes the hit and becomes glowing in your radiant aura.
Is that normal?
That's a
Yes,
thing the
I just
guiding
don't
bolt.
usually
Oh.
apply the little symbol to it, but that is the main use of guiding bolt.
What?
Well, I mean, you say that, but
Nuking people
I
is
don't know.
also a good use.
Die.
46 isn't terrible.
Yeah.
You must die.
guiding bolt is one of the best damage outputting level 1 spells, I think.
How dare you say that when inflict wounds exists?
It depends how many people save against burning hands.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have a soft spot for burning hands. Bogdan.
Coal grinder needs redemption. Is it still rolling 4 dice?
It's still rolling 4 dice, but it's rolling the right amount for the... Is it? It is rolling the right amount for the actual attack, which does hit and does deal 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and
Crunch.
this is you can't be resistant to this.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it again. Doesn't it normally wait for me to click?
It
before-
does.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know
you've
what
got it-
happened here. There might be a weird setting.
There's probably
wait a
setting
minute,
for it
am
to
I-
auto-roll damage or something.
I haven't configured anything. Let me.
It's fine. Both attacks do hit, so these aren't illegal dice rolls. The creature is still
Criminal
standing.
dice rolls.
Criminal dice.
The dice of criminals.
Oh, for some reason it says up to 2 creatures within 5 feet. Or is that a not activated description? I don't know. It's just being weird.
Is
Being
it set
weird.
up as a spell?
Maybe.
No, I pulled Maul from the compendium and just changed the name. That's all I did.
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, monsters are gonna stab you.
No.
Bogdan, neither of the attacks can get through your armor. Ocean, what's your armor right now?
16.
Alright, one of the attacks is going to hit.
Oh shit.
It's going to be for 8 piercing damage.
Aww.
As sharp.
Because it's like got the armor's probably got holes in fashionable places.
Yeah. The nets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I realise I'm moving back to where I previously was, but you mentioned inflict wounds, and
and a little switch turned in your brain.
yes, you mentioned inflict wounds, and the guiding bolt means I have advantage. So this is actually one of the blood mage spells. So let's see if it hits before I say anything about it.
That's a hit.
Ashal's casting of this is very casual, just floats up, literally like puts a hand out and just like sucks at the like life force of the thing away from it.
There is a rattling sound. It's the only noise that these creatures seem to be able to make as some of its essence drained.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Look, like all of us Charles things.
Yep. like Ashal, full stop.
Never forget that he's a squid. Ocean.
Yep. I'm going to shoot.
Well,
If you shoot the one next to you, it will be a disadvantage. If you shoot the one fighting Bogdan, it won't.
I'm going to.
you might want to move round because you have
Oh, do you want me
advantage
to
from.
flag?
Well, yeah, you have advantage.
Okay. And I'm going to actually vampiric touch because I want some of that delicious.
You have
You
advantage.
did advantage.
Oh, well.
That's a miss.
No! Can I please have this damage?
No, we
The
live
law
in
of
a
Eric
society
Given
here.
and
We live in a society.
We live in a society.
the law of Eric giveth, the law of Eric taketh away.
We do not yet live in a gay little hippie commune where all we do is play D&D. Until then, the laws of this land reign true. I will be its paladin. Anyway, you miss. Bogdan.
I want some of that delicious. Not spider.
All right, my weirdly bugged out maw.
It's just a blessing from the gods. It's a nebulous blessing on this magical item. That is, first attack is a miss. Second attack is also a miss.
That's me.
Let's do the attacks against Bogdan first. Neither of them are going to pierce your armor. And this creature is, considering it's surrounded, is going to make the disengage action. And then start scuttling behind these rocks.
Does it look like it's fleeing, or is it just like taking defensive position?
It's kind of a bit too weird of a creature to easily tell that.
Fair enough.
Ashal.
Okay, well, I am going to drop a Toll the Dead on the fleeing one. Do take that. There we go.
It's going
Perfectly
to pass
As all things
and
must
not take
be.
9 or 9 damage. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna go the other side of the rock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
Oh,
So
sure.
make it even more like a Scooby-Doo thing, where one of us pops up, the other one pops up, we both go down.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in range to get that one, so I will shoot the one that is near
Attacking Bogdan.
Blue, blue.
It's a hit.
Yeah, alright.
They're good rolls today.
But I'm running out of level ones.
Yes, yes. Use all your spell slots.
Before the main combat.
Yes, use all your potential healing spells now.
Don't worry, I've already taken on the role of healer in this
That's
party.
As is inevitable, the cleric has learned to shoot things. And,
Who gave the cleric a gun?
Well, I'm a doctor, but
Ethically opposed to the killing, wasn't I? That stopped a long time ago.
I told you it happens to every cleric.
What's there is a meme. I think it's a manga panel or something. I am a man of peace, but
Yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
or something like that. I can't remember.
Bogdan?
Yeah, I think Shepherd Book from Firefly said it best. You know, there's some pretty stern language against killing, but vague language around kneecaps.
These things have like
That's
double
pretty
kneecaps.
I just can't hit.
Speaking of
Just
kneecap,
slamming the maul into the stone.
Yeah, and Bogdan's like, I'm not used to such a short weapon.
I'm not used to things being shorter than I am.
That too.
And this thing is just like trying to catch a spider in the bathroom wall. It's like shifting and moving. It too is going to take the disengage action and scuttle further up the hill. This one is going to 1, 2, 3. Shoot a beam of energy at Ocean. Can you please give me a Constitution save, Ocean?
Yep.
That is a failure. It's going to be 6 necrotic damage, and then it's going to scuttle back behind the rocks.
Just come within my grabbing range, please.
No,
Yes.
no, I'm going to run away and shoot you.
No.
Alright. So 6 damage, necrotic damage to Ocean, and Ashal, it's your turn.
Toll the soon-to-be dead.
On which one?
This one.
You can't see that one right now. There is this big pile of rubble and rock
Now
on
I
the way.
can.
Now you can. Wisdom failure, 11 damage. It takes
And now I
it.
can't again.
Yeah, it can do its stat trick. You could do it too, right? It's fair.
Yep.
Ocean.
Again, perfectly balanced.
Does this rock count as half movement?
If you were, because you are big, I would allow you to try and clamber over it if you wished. Going around it would kind of be easier, but yeah, you can half move over it if you want.
I'm not sure I could make it and still do something. 'Cause
Not
it's
something
like,
in melee, I don't think, no.
yeah. So
I don't know if you could even get there in melee with
1,
climbing over.
2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, it's one space away from your range. isn't
Yeah.
it, if you go?
so if I went over the rocks, it's like
It wouldn't
20.
make a difference without diagonal distance because it's diagonal don't count. So
I'll go pew pew.
On which one?
At second level, the one. Yes.
You need to move into position to see it, or there is this big pile of rock and rubble in the way.
There.
Yep.
second level one this is.
Nice.
Maybe not.
Let's put the spell
Just
out onto
gonna-
a tray. Nice.
Regretfully, mark that
That
one.
would have been
Ocean. I mean,
Can I
Bogdan.
move back behind?
If you
the
have
thing?
movement space left, you can, yeah.
Okay,
move free space.
I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and as I go, I'm gonna draw my round hand axe and throw it at the thing 10 feet in front of me.
Yeah! Football! It's going to lodge harmlessly in its outer layer of chitin.
Well, with the bonus action, I just summon it back to my hand,
Nice.
Badass, at the very least.
That's cool.
and then I throw it again.
Hey!
I think I missed.
That's a
I stopped paying attention.
Yay!
Joke.
I don't know why this one's working correctly. Oh yeah, 5 gang.
It's been a while.
Instant monkey brain realization. Bogdan, can you give me a Constitution save as it's going to shoot a beam at you as it's kind of trying to struggle a bit away.
I say no. Does it miss?
No. But you do actually pass. You do succeed. The energy dissipates harmlessly into the air. It's going to scuttle down the hill on the other side. And this one's going to get up close and start stabbing at Ocean. And your AC right now is what, Ocean? Was it 13, 14, 15? 16? It's going to hit one of its attacks.
Let me double check. Yes.
Okay, so it misses one, it hits the second. Actually hits the first. It's going to be 8 piercing damage, which is rolled every time, which is pretty, impressive.
Jesus. I'm going to... Oh wait, no, I don't have my go yet.
It's not your turn.
Hurry!
Float up behind it.
Don't kill him, I need his delicious juice.
Yeah, but no.
You can use your feet, Ocean, to make it not die if you wish.
And then torture it for life force.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't work. Constitution save. It's going to fail, even though it has a really high constitution, and it is going to melt as you grip it and break its form.
I'll heal you, and you won't use a spell slot.
Becomes nothing more than a puddle of enzymes on the ground.
Ocean's just like, I was gonna eat that.
Well, Ocean, what would you
You
like?
could still eat that. It's been reduced to enzymes. It's the most base component.
Take a straw.
I'm a spider. Can I not go like...
I mean, you can. You can use your action to lick bug goo off the floor if you wish. I will not tell you it will have any kind of effect on you. But this is a role-playing experience, and you may do things that are considered taboo in some cultures.
Heinous things.
What else would you like to do?
Oh gosh.
There's one left.
One left. Am I able to see it that far away?
Actually, no.
Is that within range? How many?
What are you trying to use?
It's
Because the odds are yes, it's only
Guiding
40
bolt.
feet. off.
Guiding bolt is pretty
Bear in mind,
stonkingly
there's
long range.
Possibly another fight coming up, and this is the last of a weakened set of enemies. You can
No,
just
don't
launch a gold
remind
jet.
Zoe that. I want the cleric to have no
Oh,
spells
yeah.
fighting. What?
I
Come.
forgot that Toll the Dead's a cantrip. In that case, I will Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead is almost too good for a cantrip, to be fair. It's actually going to fail, it's
Yeah,
going to
that's
take
why I
damage.
forget it's a cantrip.
It's actually going to die! Never mind.
I think the fact that it's a save is the only
No,
reason why.
it's not OP,
Yeah.
but it feels very strong,
yeah.
right? Because it's just, you have to
It's very-
strategize.
I feel like
Whoa.
the reason it's actually balanced is because the wisdom is like the most common thing to have high save on. So if it was anything other than a wisdom save, it would be a bit overpowered. But
And when the combat's over, Modern was once again going to just conjure the hand axe back into his hand and put it in its belt loop.
Excellent.
Ashal will float over to Ocean.
Vampiric touch.
Well, I was going to heal you, but no. And reach out, and almost it's like some of the essence that was absorbed from the one that was melted by inflict wounds sort of travels back into you as I cast Cure Wounds at first level. Give you 10 healing.
Damn, Ashar really has spec'd into healer.
Yeah, I've got Cure Wounds and everything. And then I'm going to be very tactical. I'm going to use Bloodletting to get myself some blood points back. Damage myself for 5. And then, can I get everyone with it? Well, everyone can move in closer to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use a first level spell slot to use Wind of Respite.
Group hug. Group hug.
It's
So
like a
5
hug.
healing
But
So
it's
5 healing
necromancy.
for all 3 of us, and 2 temp HP, so you get 10 healing in total. No, 15 healing in total.
Wow.
While they're doing that, Bogdan is just scanning the hills, making sure nothing else is coming at them.
You can give me a perception check.
You get that healing too, by the way. I can get
Aw.
everyone within it.
Yeah.
So it's 5 hit points, 2 temp, or
Yep.
yep. That's today.
Your dwarf eyes see nothing.
Today I'm rolling d10s.
Your new helmet is just like a little too big, and it's like over your eyes. Well, don't worry. Ocean is dealing high damage for now. So, with your wounds repaired, with the foul touch of necromancy, what would you guys like to do next?
I think we should go back to looking for them there giant.
Ocean did have a good lead on it.
Yeah. Am I distracted or am I good to like pick up
You
the
can go
trail
back to
again?
leading. Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
It's not far away. The giant is basically behind the hill you were just fighting upon, or at least the nest of the giant. Like I said, this area of rubble and old chunks of buildings and the rock flow from the hills nearby. There has been an area that has been dug down to its finer dirt and such. Where, well, this depends. Are you going to approach it stealthily? Are you going to charge forward with weapons drawn? What's the plan of actually attack here against the giant?
I think Oshun's gonna begin like stealthily, especially since she's been injured quite a bit.
So do you want to stealth up first ahead of the rest of the party?
Sure, yeah.
Give me a stealth roll.
Oh no.
Yeah, there is a roll involved in going stealth, of course, until you start casting invisibility. You head off ahead of the rest of the party, trying to keep as quiet as possible and low to the ground. When you turn the corner and to see the giant's nest, you see the giant. I don't think Oshun has experience with giants, the different types, but one thing is clear: this creature is starving. It is emaciated. Its body has kind of shrunken down all the fat reserves and has left its skin kind of hanging and bulbous in some places. It's very sinewy and weedy despite how big it is because it's a giant. It's currently like crouched on the ground, kind of going through its long fingers are kind of digging through where assumedly it had food before. There is currently no food there now, and it just a few moments after you kind of round a corner and see it, it sees you. It kind of cracks its neck back and reveals a toothy, rotting maw. And then it's just going to kind of snap onto all fours and start charging at you.
You had to make it as golem-y as possible, didn't you?
It's like a big golem! It's like
That
a
is
really
literally
big
the
golem.
worst thing
Yeah.
you could ever think of.
It's like a really big golem who's
hate
out of
that.
fish to smash. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Fish to smash.
Yeah, that's the only part I remember of those movies, is Gollum singing a happy song and fucking nailing that fish.
so juicy sweet.
So our only wish is to catch a fish.
So juicy, sweet. Bash, bash, bash.
Initiative roll. Nice. Okay, so Bogdan, what's your dexterity? Oh, it goes faster than you because your dexterity is negative and this thing isn't. So it
I was so
Pulls-
excited to finally go first.
it pulls itself onto all fours. Kind of crunched up. And it is going to just rush up to you, kind of crawling on the giant pillars to get there. It is going to get within range, and it is going to straight up try to bite you.
Don't like it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, don't I get some kind of protection? No, you get no protection from the giant bite.
You won't. You get bites.
You get bitten. And unfortunately, if you were Bogdan, this attack wouldn't hit. But you are not Bogdan, you are Ocean.
Is it because I'm tall?
No, it's because your armor is a little
Well,
bit worse.
Discrimination up in this D&D game.
It is going to deal 15 points of piercing damage to you as it bites onto you. Because it's kind of going at all fours. It's going to like bite, maybe grab your arm, and the teeth kind of pull, but you can also kind of feel the teeth giving and moving in its mouth.
Oh, D&D, Jesus!
You also... Actually, could you give me a Arcana or Religion check, Ocean? This is for free. This is a freebie.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're witnessing
Let's
this
learn
attack
about
so
this
close up.
creature as it tries to masticate my arm. No, I'm only aware of its dental hygiene and the texture of its tonsils.
Nice. That's going to be its turn. Bogdan, you hear Ocean sneak up, and then you hear the pattering and the biting and the caterwauling over there.
The caterwauling.
Bogdan like hefts up Coal Grinder and like just saying to Charles as he starts charging forward, she always does this. She just goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dash action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's me.
Ocean.
If you want to get away, you can use disengage action and then move.
I think I'm just gonna go straight for the Toll the Dead, to try and like surprise it off of my VOD.
Sure.
Toll the Dead.
It passes. It does not react to the ringing bell sound outside its head.
Can I just bash it?
Not anymore. You just
ineffectually?
use. Oh, ineffectually, yes. No, get off. There. Yes, you can always flail as
On
flavor.
its face.
Ashal.
Well, Ashal will float forward 1, 2, 5, 6 in case of emergency need to heal a party member. And I'm also going to. I'm going to. Fairly good odds that this isn't a charismatic creature.
What has what kind of opinion do you have? Why would you think that about this guy who's on all fours biting Ocean?
Yeah,
I want to bite Ocean, and I'm charismatic.
I'm going to cast Essence Trap on Ollie for wanting to bite Ocean.
It's not illegal. It is going to fail due to its negative charisma modifier. And it is going to take that damage. It doesn't really seem to have much of a pull on it, though, because you can kind of see. It's very quickly kind of just becomes that kind of transparent thread that you have tied to it.
Not much soul left, it's nearly dead.
Well, hit. So, the giant is quite unpredictable in how it acts, right? It will kind of pull itself back up away from you and almost beat its chest for a moment. And you can hear things cracking and breaking. And then it's just going to start these slamming fist attacks against Ocean. For Ocean is the only person within reach. The first one is going to miss. You can just pull yourself away. The second one is going to hit.
Oh my goodness.
There is going to be the crushing sound of its bone against the stone, and it throws up stone all around that strikes you for 19 bludgeoning damage, and then it is going to really strain as it goes for another attack, which you can just about dodge.
I'm very close to death.
Bogdan, you see all this. You see Ocean straining, trying to withstand the flurry of feral attacks coming from this starving giant.
Okay, I'm going to cast growth on myself.
Talk to your doctors about growth.
If this lasts longer than 4 hours, I will consult a physician. What? I'm doing something. Is that a new dress? Okay, it's very pretty.
Aww.
The giant
Okay,
has a new dress as well. Very pretty.
Aww.
Is it very pretty?
Yes.
So, action search.
Yeah! I'd like to see it. Unfortunately, it's trash attack. That
Okay, I get
sucks.
another one.
Yep. That's a hit.
Alright, 12 bludgeoning. Oh, plus a d4. Hang on.
Yes.
So that's 15 bludgeoning.
Yeah. You can get like a good strike against one of the arms as they come down on Ocean, and you just hear things break, but the giant doesn't really react properly to how it should. Ocean.
And,
oh,
yeah, I'll say, Oshun, back away now.
Oshun wants to, like, help or do something. I'm still conflicted, like... I will take a disengage. And... I will just sort of, like... maybe try to encourage Bogdan to, like... see if he can be reasoned with. Offer him a healthcare plan. Maybe dental.
A dental. I was going to say, I think he needs dental.
And food. If he like stops trying to kill us and also like works on the field. Okay, now I go to sleep.
Charles.
Bonus action to maintain that essence trap. There is like a clear moments of hesitation with Ocean not wanting to
Repetition and deviation.
to kill this creature, but Eshal does sort of shake their head and goes ahead to cast Toll the Dead on it.
I look down and say,
Y'all are getting some good d12 rolls.
But
Well, meanwhile, I'm still rolling a d10 to hit.
but we're at +7, so it still works sometimes. That is going to be a miss. It's going to be ineffectual against this giant. Giant is going to read the text message I just got. And it's going to send him into a rage.
It can read?
And it is going to try and bite Bogdan.
no head!
Bogdan's AC is 19 right now, and it gets a 16, which means you can resist it. It will, though, it will scramble this way, kind of slamming its body into the wall as it does try to bite at Bogdan. You're next. You're next.
You're next. I'm gonna roll my broken weapon.
That's a miss.
I'm still rolling d10s. You know, at least there's consistency. Is that a
There we
natural
go.
20?
That is a natural 20.
Alright, that
Rolling
means I
20
get-
damage too, which, you know,
No,
doubles.
not more. 2d4.
No, that's true.
24 damage.
24, that's not as cool. It is high though. It's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me. Yeah, I'm done. I'm vindicated. I can now. I can now leave the session. Thank you.
Speaking of leaving
You're
this
welcome.
mortal
Goodbye.
coil, Oshun.
Oshun's going to take one healing potion, smash it against her forehead, just get ready for the next part.
Now I'm imagining the healing potions come in, cans.
You just smash it and then you're like healed.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay, so it's. I'm gonna do the / thing.
Slash R space 2d4 plus
Oh lord.
2. There you go.
Boom. Rubbish. Bad.
Nah, that's actually pretty good.
That's
It's
not-
okay.
It could be worse.
Could be worse.
Alright.
But only ever so much.
Well.
That's only a bonus action, so
I will also cure wounds on myself. That's going to be at a level 2.
okay.
Ooh, that makes up for the low. That's like near max healing. You almost
Oh,
got
shit,
7
wait.
and 8 on the dice.
Maximilian healing.
16
I nearly forgot to count.
Total of 22 healing across the potion and the cures.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do, like move, or are you good?
I think she's. What do I say to a giant who's trying to kill us? She's just
Die.
gonna go, Stop! We can make a deal for food.
The giant continues salivating, but like aggressively.
But Oshun, we are the food.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a grocery store hungry and you're just like, all of this. I'm just gonna.
Yeah! I love doing that. That's the only
No,
time I shop.
Bad.
Yeah, but then I have fun food.
The trash.
Yeah.
Trash garbage.
Yeah. Although
Bad
trash
for-
food is actually healthier than for me right now than healthy food because of my stuff. So
I get my brain
it's great.
around that.
but vegetables may cause me serious intestinal damage. I'm not allowed any vegetables. Doctor's orders.
Is it fibrousness?
It's the fiber.
That fucking
But
fiber,
fiber's in everything tasty.
including people.
I don't think people are very fibrous. We're gonna say, unless you're like corn feeding them, I don't think people are very fibrous.
Muscles are fiber.
I'm gonna get put on a list here.
That's a
I'm
different
going,
thing.
is
It's not
human
fiber, I think.
fibers?
I assume it's a different thing.
Anyway,
No,
How
we're,
nutritious is human flesh?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's relevant to this what's happening right now.
Our
What's,
thighs have 13,000 calories.
See, I already knew this. If you need to eat another human, you eat the thighs first. That is the
Well,
best part
yeah,
to eat.
That's a lot of frick. I mean, you're gonna eat their thighs and it's gonna go straight to your thighs.
And then the cycle continues.
So this is how to become a world champion bodybuilder. Eat all the other bodybuilders.
That's a D&D campaign.
This article only talks about calories.
Well,
The
it's
art
useless.
is real.
We'll do more
Pathetic.
research as we go to break. Mid-giant fight, so that I can get a snack, so I'm not as hungry as the giant. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Cheese.
I don't like. At least come up with a funnier joke, then do it. That's all I
No.
ask. That's all I ask.
If I say cheese every time you go live for the next few weeks.
Oh my god.
I'll find a new Ian. It's actually your turn.
So, right, yes, I should have maybe planned something in the break, but that would be I mean, we're probably not going to fight anything else. This thing probably doesn't have much intelligence. I'm going to mental
Don't say
spirit.
that. Ollie will come up with something else for us to fight.
I mean, I can make things save just about every different save.
It's gonna fail.
Unless Ollie throws something at us that has like a +5 in every save, I can do something against it.
Yeah, it's gonna take the damage. The giant is going to stare down at Bogdan. It is not looking at the battlefield, doesn't glance at Oshun or Ashal, even as Ashal is attacking it. It just glares at Bogdan, and will make an attack. It's going to hit. It's going to bite you.
Wait. I cast shield.
Oh. I'll put the damage dice down. It goes to bite you. The magic shield comes up. You hear its jaw dislocating as it's trying to bite through the shield. It's just forcing its jaw back. The hungry giant keeps on trying. Bogdan, it is you. That is a miss. No, that's a hit. That's actually a hit. It's going to deal damage. Congratulations. Congratulations. It's a hit. Nice.
The third gender hit.
Yeah.
Hit.
No.
That's
No,
also a
Oh
hit.
my god, I rolled higher than a 10. I rolled higher than a 10.
I feel like I should clarify that on stream. I meant hit it, not that the third gender was it. Because that, obviously.
I'm done.
I just want to clarify, that was the joke I intended. I apologise.
Oh no, we have to cancel Ian. Oh, sorry, it's just the way it is.
It was
just
a good
about
run.
Time.
I think I'm looking for a new Ian. I mean, how convenient.
Pull one
Yeah.
of the back out copies out of the wardrobe.
The Ian clones. They're growing nicely.
They can't roll.
Lightning dragon.
crits. Oh. Yeah, Bogdan, your strikes are increasingly effective against it. The giant's flesh is starting to bruise and buckle under your might. But it's still got a lot of fight left in it. But at the same time, with a creature like this that's fighting so feverishly, you'd have no clue when it was close to death. Oh, should.
It doesn't seem to be able to understand me, so
Have you
Looks
tried
like-
talking in giant?
No.
I can't speak giant, unfortunately.
You tried speaking
I
very
have-
low and deep.
I think giant is like the one language I don't speak.
Why would you ever need to
As
speak
is-
to giants?
As is common with my characters, I know every language except for what I need.
It was a previous character that could didn't Cassia wasn't Cassia
Could read
able to,
anything.
Damn
Could
it.
read anything, yeah.
A giant is not speaking in hieroglyphs.
I think Cassia also had tongues, so could have technically spoken
Yes,
anything
she
as well.
did. Anyway, Toll the Dead! Again.
Oh, okay, you're choosing violence. It is going to fail. It is going to take damage.
It's what the D&D gods want me to do.
Me.
Am I going to get... No, I'm not going to get closer. I'm not going to risk a vampiric touch.
But you're low on health.
I mean, I thought about getting some of that delicious giant juice, but that would put me in range of grabbing.
I'm not sure this giant has much juice left.
Oh,
Sure.
give in to your hate.
I'm going for completion on the spell's cast. I'm now going to cast Mind Sliver on it.
This is not becoming a thing. It's going to pass, Mind Sliver, actually.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You underestimated the mental capacity of the starving giant that's trying to eat you. I mean, what
You
else can I have to say?
underestimate my power.
Don't do it,
Okay. For a moment, it looks like the giant is about to skid and maybe run between Bogdan and Ocean. But before it does, it kind of buckles its arms in and throws itself into an almighty rage.
Oh shit.
And is going to try a bite attack against Bogdan, which is going to hit.
I cast shield.
Unless Bogdan
Nice.
casts shield, which also gives Bogdan plus 5 AC for the rest of these attacks, which is pretty valuable. Upon its attack failing to hit, it fights with even more fury for a few moments. But even with that, the other strikes are just like the giant is slamming its fists into you, Bogdan, with so much strength that with the shield, you're actually getting dug into the ground by a couple of feet. But it doesn't do any damage, Bogdan.
I've had enough of you, giant! Rude!
I don't know why that's so
That's
funny.
so good. Yo, I firmly agree. That is a hit. It doesn't kill it. Oh, with extra damage. And that's also really good damage. But the giant just barely takes it, starting to dizzy. Starting to really stagger and sway, kind of throwing its body up against the stone wall beside it, sending flagstones falling. Ocean.
I think I'm just going to be boring and like guiding bolt at level 2.
That's not boring if it hits and deals damage.
How would you do it at level 2?
You take that, and then you set level 2.
Oh shit, it does come up. Okay.
Yeah. It takes a bit of weird getting used to, especially because they've changed the way these spells have worked since this campaign began, which is not good for us. It's a really devastating strike. It throws the giant back again onto its back. It struggles, but slowly pushes itself back up. It's not quite a Steve Rogers kind of thing, but it is like a using the last of its strength. Its bones creaking and buckling. As Charles.
So you're saying it can't do this all day?
It seems like, based on the statistics we have here, it cannot do this all day.
You know what this means? It means I get to use my last attack spell.
What's the last one? Hey!
Dex save.
It fails a dex save, it takes 8 psionic damage.
Thank you, Ian.
I probably should have used something that might actually kill it now, but
It rolls high on its madness chart and is going to try again with the triple attack it tried before against Bogdan. It's going to completely miss the bite. as it just kind of lurches awkwardly, kind of pulling itself on all fours, skidding across the ground. It's then going to kind of...
You missed the fight.
Yes, it's going to then hit with one of its strikes, its fist strikes.
I'll allow it.
They're getting confident.
Very funny.
That's going to be 15 bludgeoning damage. And then that
I'm
dice
not
rolled
gonna
off the
allow
fucking
third
desk.
one, hopefully.
And
I
the
cast Cackle on the third.
third one is reduced. It's like raises its fist. It just ends up rolling onto its back, just exhausted. And in fact, it does appear that the giant falls into an exhausted slumber, having used all its energy.
Thinking about, doing
Without
that
waiting
quick.
for anyone to
It's your
dissuade
turn
him, Bogdan's
next.
just gonna
Yeah,
cave in his chest with this with coal grinder, enlarged coal grinder.
yeah, it will
Don't
just
tell me about your enlarged
crunch. The giant's chest, with no more strength to hold it up, will cave in, and there's just a spluttering death gasp. And it will
And then
end.
yeah, Bogdan wrenches coal grinder out, puts it down, pulls out a hand axe, and while still enlarged, he's going to start chopping away at the head, the neck.
Gross.
It's difficult, but you do pull the neck from the body, the head from the body.
There we go.
I
One
feel
dragon,
so
one giant head.
There could have been another way.
What other way? Because by my reckoning, this was a savage feral giant.
I'm not sure sapient beings could be savage or feral. Unless it had rabies.
He just gestures
Is
to
there
the
a
corpse.
big enough animal that could give a giant rabies?
Make a medicine check now.
Shall we return?
Yes.
Okay. Bear in mind that Ashar did cast Wind of Respite on you as you were leaving. So you do have a
Is there
little bit of
treasure?
healing.
Should we check for treasure?
You didn't want to kill it,
Wait.
but now you want to loot its home.
Isn't
Look,
that
she's-
the rules of D&D?
She's still a D&D player. Ollie.
I just need to point it out. It doesn't look like there's treasure in its hovel, but you could spend more time here to investigate if you so wished.
It's very unlikely there's anything magical here. Ashal doesn't really care.
Take its skin.
No,
I
exactly.
completely misjudged you, Lightning Dragon, from the
Oh,
from the secret cute stream that's sometimes on Tuesdays. I assumed you'd be much more soft spoken, but
I mean, you can be soft-spoken and violent. Those two things aren't incompatible.
soft-spoken and
I think that's
skin.
everyone in the
I'm so
Tuesday
cute.
secret game is soft spoken
Yeah.
but violent. To be fair, that's the entire group.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
That's the name of the campaign: soft-spoken and violent.
So, shall you walk back into town with giant head lofted high and victorious? Okay.
I'm going to make you describe how it smells because Bogdan made the choice to be close to this thing that he's carrying.
Right now, it smells like the heavy rain. The heavy rain is actually covering the smell of the head quite a bit.
God damn it! Can't squick out Bogdan.
No. You can waltz back into Ozian's Bounty's township and raise the head high like a adventurer in Fable. And everyone goes, "Ooh!"
And then Bogdan slowly gets smaller and smaller.
Returns to normal size. Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say someone's like, "Is that chicken chase?"
I was gonna do that too. Why do you think they call him Arseface?
Don't get this.
There's a game called Fable. It's great.
Fable 1 was the best Fable.
Oh, absolutely. Zero
Absolutely.
contest. Zero contest. Unless the new one's
not
good.
even.
But I doubt it.
Oh, that's right. They're making a new one. Apparently, they made another Matrix.
I've seen the adverts!
Man down.
Sorry. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this next installment in the trans narrative. Classic.
All the trans folks over the
cinema.
world are waiting for the gay agenda to be beamed in.
I
The
can't wait.
Wachowskis. Well, what you also don't have to wait for is the adoration of the farming folk as you show them the giant's head.
And the old man just sheds a single tear.
The old man is not there.
He was the giant all along.
Secret villain confirmed.
But yeah, the people are largely pretty impressed by this. You did exactly what you said. You came in with great confidence, said you were going to kill the giant, you're going to solve the problem, and you have. And, you know, your respect bar is going higher. You know, the people here will
So you're saying-
recognize that.
Mission passed. Respect plus.
Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly what I am saying.
Reputation increased.
Yeah, reputation
You've
increased
now
with
unlocked the
farmers.
ability to flirt with the barmaid.
Alright, is there anything particularly you want to do in showing off and being excited and all of that?
Can we sleep here?
Could if
Is-
you wanted.
Is there like an impromptu celebration of sorts where I could carouse and speak ill of our ruler
Yeah.
incidentally?
I'd say, especially if you're there kind of being like, a drink to defeat the giant, you can kind of cause an impromptu celebration to form around
Yeah.
you.
How much gold would it be to just like buy out the tavern of liquor and just distribute it?
I would say probably like 50 gold. Like,
Done.
not that much, yeah. Excellent.
Now, roll for Bogdan's dance moves. If you fail, you mess up the breaking. You cannot break. Breaking is going to be in the next Olympics, which I am super
As
hyped about.
in break dancing?
Yeah.
I don't like
And,
that it's
Literally just breaking.
Yeah, I don't like that it's called just breaking. That weirds
I don't
me
know
out.
why they. Well, I suppose
The dancing
maybe
is
they moved away from
implied.
break dancing because it's like so 70s or something. Now it's not breaking more like a not like a sport, but a competitive. Anyway, I'm not as excited about that as I am for the skateboarding because skateboarding is now an Olympic sport.
The BMX at the Olympics were really cool. That was
So
really good.
cool, the
That was really
BMX!
nice. That was really nice.
What?
I did enjoy watching that. But we're not here to talk about the Olympics. We're here to take over the world, the underrealm. Bogdan, you can whip the people up into a frenzy. You can buy at the tavern. You can start bad mouthing the king. All the thing.
And
And this
saying,
is yeah,
go on.
exactly. This is all exactly the stuff you've wanted to do for the start of the campaign. So we don't need to really even
Does
get into the
Bogdan-
depths of it because it's like exactly what you were prepared to do as well when coming here.
Does Bogdan look happy?
It was only 50 gold worth of booze, so maybe close.
Oh my god. Can Oshun glance around and see if any kingly spies are slipping away, twirling their mustaches?
Maybe
that's
some
a good
older
idea.
gentlemen.
Old Ned was a spy all along. You can give me a
Oh,
perception
shit.
or an insight check for that. That's a good idea.
No.
You don't notice anyone. You just see dwarves having a
Oshun
good
doesn't
time.
see shit. She just thumbs up. It's like,
We're all good here. Awesome.
Is this the part where Ashal busts out in some crazy hover dancing?
It's a Russian kick dance.
I'm not sure Ashal's legs work enough to raise that high.
Even with the hovering.
Yeah.
It will... pretty kind of as quickly as it started, the impromptu party will start fizzling out as people have to get back to work and back to sleep and things like that. But at least invigorated and maybe indoctrinated to your cause.
You will always want that word, indoctrinated.
I'm here for it.
So what's the plan next?
Oshun needs to heal and also get spell slots.
Well, Ollie, do I feel like I've sufficiently rallied the farmers, or do I need to do more?
This will definitely be a big feather in your hat. My brain wanted to say that completely the other way around. This is probably because this is like the big problem they were struggling with, and the king wasn't really doing anything about it. In fact, the king was just kind of making it worse. So yeah, this is very much enough for the farming folk to have your to support you on your way to becoming king.
Are there any bards, troubadours, skalds, whatever they're called here?
I mean, there has to be, right? This is a large enough gathering of people that there's got to be a musician around of some kind. You want to kind of...
I want to compose a great ballad of Bogdan and his companions killing the largely over-exaggerated giant. 10 gold?
Bogdan versus the mountain.
Yes!
The Swift Mountain.
Yeah, something like that.
The Starving Mountain.
Bogdan versus the mountain mouth.
Yeah. So how much to commission him to...
Honestly, with how much you just stirred people into a frenzy, it is going to be free.
Ooh.
That's pretty rad. That's real loyalty.
That's excitement. That's an artiste who has a real passion for the project.
That's free advertising and a hype beast. All in one.
That's payment in exposure.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Well, more like payment in drink, you know? I'm sure he was there.
Also works for bards. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This can start being chiseled away at by the composer. Like, oh yes, of course.
All right.
The giant was like etc. etc. You know, it's gonna be taking the whole underground by storm soon enough, surely.
All right, well, when we have a moment, maybe the next morning, I don't know how long the festivity is going to last.
Well, it depends if you're going to stay there all night. Or if you want to...
You guys want to leave with the sunset to kind of like solidify the legend? Because I feel like if we stick around, we become mere mortals who sleep and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely...
Yeah, we ride off into the sunset.
And then go sleep just outside of town.
Yeah. Park, the beetle around the corner and get some rest.
We like some sort of... We're a traveling band that just plays that really awesome hit and then goes out of town and sleeps in the car.
Yeah.
We even have groupies.
Yeah.
Groupies?
Well, when we're on the bug, and we are the three of us.
Incidentally, did I get a soul out of that giant?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you used a bonus action each turn to hold it. What's your largest soldier at the moment?
I have 100 GP.
100 would do. Yeah, you could contain it in 100 gem. It doesn't look very flashy or anything.
Fair enough. Starving hill giant soul.
Yeah, I like that. One member of the party really is the diplomat, trying to make peace. The other one is the usurper trying to overthrow the throne by any means necessary, and the other one's just collecting souls wherever they go. No big deal.
Every day.
It's all part of my cunning plan. I collected off magic shit, and then I put all the magic shit into a cauldron, and I blow the entire underrealm sky high. I'm secretly the big bad.
Oh my god, Ashal's the final boss.
We've already done this one
Mario,
before.
They're gonna be like, the dwarves have weapons of mass destruction. Have to go in.
Gonna have to bring psychic democracy to the dwarves.
That sounds horrifying, actually.
But rad.
You wanted to say something to the party when you were alone.
Well, in the quiet moment, Bogdan is quite pleased, smiling, had a good time, maybe a little tipsy, but he does take a moment to take a somber moment and just look over to Oshud and say, "I'm sorry it came to the death of the giant, but you must have known that was the only way it was going to end."
It's never the only way. However, it wasn't the easiest way. None of us spoke the creature's language, and I suppose this just reaffirms to me that communication is really the most important tool in our arsenal, and we failed it. However, there's still room to improve. We'll get it right next time.
On some days, I find you pleasantly enigmatic. You are certainly like no usurper elf I've ever met. Face and height notwithstanding.
You met many usurper elves?
Yeah, I've trounced around your capital city for like a week and a half.
But did you meet many? Most of them cough behind their hands from a distance.
True, I did not have very many meaningful conversations with your kin, but...
That's fair. I will endeavor to be pleasingly enigmatic.
But also try to understand that among my people, actions far outweigh words.
And actions can have repercussions far into the future.
That's the idea.
Want to see what this giant head tastes like?
That's a good point. Did
I
you keep the
shall
giant
not.
head, or did you leave it at the tavern?
Can we borrow that brain? How many meals would a
I mean, I
giant's
suppose
brain?
I technically-
You should have eaten the
Not
brain.
more.
I suppose I technically could have done
Ret
that.
can't eat the brain.
No,
Well, it's
no,
up
that's
to
what-
you
that's
whether you
what-
want to keep the head.
The camera angles has only shown half of the Pelican, and then it just pans
The
over,
head.
and Ashal's just resting on a brain that they've removed.
Oh. He's so
I mean, I
full.
am-
You could
kind of-
hang the you could have the giant's head hanging from the edge of the beetle like Witcher,
Well, yeah, like
like a
Geralt.
trophy. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if we're keeping the head anyway, then I might as well attempt to eat
Yeah.
eat the brain, because
So
it would be a waste.
you're going
The two that kiss the
to
girl, eat the brain.
you're going to eat the giant's brain. What you quickly realize is that a giant's brain offers, at least in this instance, no more psychic energy than a humanoid of any other size. It is not more
Almost like
fulfilling.
they're equal.
It is not more filling. In fact, it's rather bland and unfilling at all. You do get, as you consume, and what's also no, you would consume the psychic energy before you consume the whole brain. You eat like a hunk, and that's it all sucked up. You do briefly, for a few moments, get an unending hunger. That supernatural hunger that was afflicting that giant was in their brain, but you can be more rational.
So, just out of curiosity, you describe that as supernatural hunger.
Mhm.
Do you mean, can I get from that moment a sense that that was not just a giant that had not eaten, it was a giant that was afflicted with something making it hungry?
I think you would need to make a check for that. I would say an Arcana check, I guess. It seems supernatural, but also at the same time not inherently unnatural. It seemed like the giant's brain seemed wired for this. It seemed to be a kind of transformation within the giant, perhaps caused by a disease or a genetic disease or something, or a really, really intense form of hunger that almost flipped a switch and turned him into something else. The best analog would be grasshoppers and locusts. At a certain point in the life cycle, when there's certain situations, a grasshopper gets filled with serotonin and becomes a locust, and that's essentially the same thing that happened here. Yes, that is how it works, and it causes a physical transformation and a complete change in behavior and an unending hunger. So essentially, something happened to trigger the transformation, but the affliction was more than just physical. It was it was in the mind and the soul, and it was a complete transformation. So it was in some degree supernatural, but also something that is either been in the hill giants for a long time or whatever.
After when when Oshun and Bogdan go silent, Ashal will, speaking of a silence, and will say, "If it gives you any peace, I believe that that being was beyond help. The sense I get is that perhaps due to starvation, an instinct, a change had overtaken it. I do not believe it could truly be considered a rational being in the sense that other giants can be.
Good lord.
Perhaps I doubt we could have gotten to it soon enough to stave off a change, but I believe it would have required intervention at a much earlier stage than we found it to attempt to bring it back to itself. It was practically a different being when it was born."
I wonder what happened to the rest of its kind.
Well, you saw the hills. Food was quite scarce, and the fertile land belongs to civilization.
Maybe they ate each other.
That's dark.
That's
Creatures
fucked up.
that they knew.
They might also be relatively solitary creatures. I am by no means an expert in giant kin. It is possible that was a lone giant or one of a small family unit, and perhaps the rest had already died. Or worse.
Well, if there is a realm for giant spirits to reside, I'm sure they will be in the same place now.
Yes, I believe if we wanted to improve the lot of such beings and avoid something like that happening again, our best course of action would be to gain power, as we are trying to do, and effect change throughout this entire realm. Because without recognizing them as sentient and allowing them to trade and join communities,
Form a union.
that situations like that are likely to arise.
That is an excellent point.
Well, let's solve one society's problem at a time.
Of course, I am speaking in hypotheticals and long-termism. I did not suggest that we solve all the Underarm's problems in one go, even if that were possible.
Give giants the vote.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to do on the way back? Assuming you're going back to the city.
Oshun's going to finally spend some quality time with
Baby.
the baby.
The baby.
The still unnamed baby.
Tell me your
baby.
name.
Ah. At this point, the
What is
baby
your
is
name?
the baby is vocalizing. It's just not words, and it's Elvish too. So it's like one of those things where it's like you try and encourage them to speak, and they won't until you are paying attention, and then they will speak. Or it is an Elven child.
Speak.
But the baby is very happy at Mama's attention.
Aww.
Although occasionally you do find that the baby is holding on to one of Catch-Al's rats. Just seems to keep getting a hat, but not usually in the kindest way, pulling on tails and things like that. But at the same time, it's
holding your rat in its fat
yeah.
hand.
You're like,
the
where,
rat's like,
where did you get that? Where did you get that, baby? And Catch-Al is like slightly smaller than they were before.
don't put it in your mouth. Don't
Oh.
put that in your mouth.
The rat goes in the child's mouth.
No.
Oh, but
They're at least pretty clean rats.
I wasn't worried about the kid. I was worried about the rat.
I know you're worrying. Cool. That seems to give you some mental rejuvenation, at the very least. Although, when you do get good trances in Ocean, your dreams are still of Varachnia, Ivrith's realm.
Oh shit.
Not to the extent of you're having lucid dreams with Idrith, but you are dreaming of essentially home, where you were created.
What does it mean?
Well, you can actually give me a religion check for
Yes.
a relatively low DC 1 that I can give you. But of course, if you roll like a 4, I ain't gonna give you shit.
Don't say that.
Among most Ascended, they do dream of Arachnia. You haven't always. It's one of the things that seems to send some Ascended feral, actually. The ones that get banished from the city, or the ones that end up like the Mad Priestess. Because it is a difficult thing to wrap one's head around. You are a little better at that, but you're also not sure if Ivrith is giving you a softer view of Arachnia. But this is almost more of that, like, oh no, you still have a connection to Ivrith. You're seeing her realm explicitly. Which is something that most other Ascended see. And you haven't seen for a long time. So it's like your connection is naturally reforming one way or another. Despite your current actions here at the wall.
Interesting. At some point, I think Oshun is going to try and, again, to compose a letter to Cinnabelle, detailing these dreams and her questions and things like that. And also, the final question is, please name the baby.
Yeah. Did you actually send a letter off when you like get to the city?
Yeah.
Cool. You return to Abanar successfully. You know, there's no issues in returning or anything like that. I would say things are very much the same as you left it, but you did leave with setting up rumors. And those rumors have, of course, progressed. Walking through the streets on the way back to your home, especially when you're not in the cathedral ward, you are recognized. A lot of you. There are mutters and whispers of what you're doing here, and your lordship and your chosenness. You are no longer stealth in your intent. Whether or not it's the case that everyone knows you're trying to overthrow the king, no, not really, but people do know that you killed one of the king's courtiers who happened to be a fiend. Do the common folk know what that means? No. Has misinformation definitely spread into the rumors? Definitely. And not even the ones that you've deliberately added. There is definitely some counterintelligence going on. But, regardless, you are now known, and your affairs will no longer be completely in the dark unless you take considerable effort to keep them there. With that in mind, what would you like to do?
Is this what you were aiming for, Bogdan?
Yes.
Oh, good. As long as you feel comfortable.
I can finally see it.
I can see clearly now.
We are approaching the final steps. I believe our only point in our original plan that has not yet been completed is gaining the allegiance of the Stillers.
That was going to be my prompt as well. Let's check in with our allies at the manor.
Incidentally, I'm going to. I took the 2 superior healing potions last session. I am going to give one to Bogdan. Because
We had a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we should stay into days too. So just in case, because Ocean gets killed a lot, but Bogdan is the tank. Best not for them to fall. Eshel, best to keep up to heal.
As you are walking through the city on the way to your home, because you have to enter the city through a very particular place to get up to the Cathedral Ward, and it's before you're actually in the Cathedral Ward proper, you can notice a rush of people heading towards the Grand Bazaar. And it's not just the usual work rush or lunch rush or anything like that. Yeah. Enough of a rush that the people don't so much notice you.
Oh shit.
Disturbances. We should keep abreast of developments in the city. I believe it worth investigating. Worst case, we lose some time. Best case, we might use it to our ends.
Very well. We should also think about obscuring our route to the manor each time we go.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I also have magic that can disguise myself. I do not know if the 2 of you can perform similar.
Show off.
Ollie, we've had a long rest, yeah?
You've had a long rest, yes, before on the way back. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have a long rest in the city yet.
Cool. Let's go.
Go check out a disturbance.
Are you? How?
In the force.
We're following the rush of people.
You're going to follow the rush of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you said they seem to be running towards the Grand Bazaar, not
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Don't say that with such questioning tone of
I think we
voice.
should probably be cautious, but follow them.
Are Ollie's
Cloaks
like,
up.
oh,
Yes.
really?
Oh, really? Oh.
This is just the DM saying, "Are you sure?"
Are
Uh-huh.
you sure you want to die?
When you reach the Grand Bazaar, there is a gathering of people. For at the north edge of the Grand Bazaar is essentially a raised stage connected to the king's palace. And Skarhane Kolgard, the king, and he of which you wish to kill and dethrone, does appear to be making a speech of some kind.
Oh my god.
They
You
are.
have that head to throw.
It's like throwing a tomato.
Yeah,
You've actually not seen Skarhane Kolgard in person ever, any of you.
Does he look like a bitch?
Roll me an insight check. No.
Does he look like I could take him in a fight?
No. He looks strong.
Shit.
While Bogdan is wearing new armor of alabaster white, Skarhane's armor almost looks like it was made from the dark stone of the wall. Almost looks like it was grown onto him, especially the crown of Abonir, which kind of curves and forms horns. It almost looks like horns coming out of his head.
Cool.
He is a very strong and imposing looking dwarf to the point that his armor explicitly shows off his muscles in places, choosing to do that and intimidate rather than protect every single part of his body, which is definitely creating quite an imposing presence. He himself has a maul, which he is currently holding to his side in a very large gauntlet, which doesn't match the rest of his armor. And he is speaking to the crowd, voice booming out across it, that it is true that there have been rumors of foulness and corruption within my grand city. And those sneaking in the dark, unhearing the voice.
He just threw shade.
It is true. And I would not lie to my people. There has been an interloper. And no doubt many of you from the Mechanist district have seen the chaos. And it has been contained. This criminal who would cause such chaos would work with our enemies. And has been arrested.
No.
For I shall deal with them as I wish. Those loyal most to me and the treaty, and our allegiance with the rest of the dark, will contain this criminal. And I will decide what to do with her head. And there is a bit of a cheer from the crowd.
Oh god, Harrenhal?
And when the crowd kind of cheers at the threat of execution for a criminal, you can just see him kind of like nod approvingly. Rest easy, Abonar! Our mithril age is only beginning. There will be no more straining in the streets. And he will kind of just heft up his weapon and turn. You guys can give me perception checks. As he walks
Oh yeah,
back
because we've been
into
so
the
good at that
palace.
today.
Yeah.
Come on. No!
It's all on
Well-
me.
I done did better.
I didn't.
Oh shoot.
You notice nothing unusual as he walks back into the palace, and the king's guard
God damn it.
take his place at the stairs to his palace there. And then a large
That means that something
metal
terrible
gate
happened.
closes. There is, of course, now the excited and hushed conversation. Well, they're dwarves. The excited, loud conversations about what has been happening and things like that. You even hear some people talk about the Varguls and how this was clearly all connected, and they're glad that it is over, and that the king has brought it all to an end, and such things.
Can I hear any rumors about who has been arrested?
Maybe. What check would that be? I feel like that would be more of an insight to try and look for something particular among the crowd.
I will quite happily make an insight. I actually have a bonus to that.
Yeah, that's really good. Apparently, it was a usurper elf trying to take new technologies being worked on by the treaty in the Mechanists district.
Are you going to tell me this?
As Charles would relay to the other two quietly, well, would probably relay via telepathy to the other two members of the party that they picked up on that as a rumor, that not that it's confirmed.
Well, perhaps I can use my influence as a priestess to speak to my sister and
This
identify who this is.
this is a scapegoat.
Oh, is it a trap?
Almost certainly, yes.
What this means is that we have maneuvered cleverly, and our enemy stumbled. Unfortunately, he still holds the reins of power, so he's allowed to get away with this facade. We must find a way to undermine this. Perhaps,
Yes?
if there is indeed a usurper elf, and this isn't a complete concoction, if we liberated her from his care, it would certainly look poorly upon him.
I would strongly suspect that there is a usurper elf. In such times, a scapegoat tends to be picked from among outsiders. It is likely that there was someone unrelated who was accused of subterfuge,
Let us continue this conversation in the manor.
Yes.
even via telepathy.
Oh, are we via telepathy?
yeah. I said,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, then, in that case, he starts walking, and then we
And-
can keep
yeah.
having the
Walking
telepathic
and
conversation.
talking.
And he's, yeah. And I will think. Colgard either took this scapegoat, thinking we would not retaliate because we have no interest, or that we would, and it is a trap. Which one is more likely?
I am not certain. I do not know his nature. I also am not sure that it matters. The odds are, and the thing with plans is that a good plan has no negative outcomes for you. As far as Colgard is concerned, we either leave this alone and he has a scapegoat for things, or we interfere and he believes he can crush us there and then. The best thing to do in such a situation, if it proves to be possible, is to spring the trap and turn it against them. It is akin to flipping the board in a game if there is no other route to victory.
In that case, we will need some level of insurance so that we do not overreach. Or if we do overreach, we have a way out. I recall there was a teleportation spell that we used at Narashiro. Do you think we can concoct something similar?
I mean,
The teleportation was by way of scroll given to us by Cinnabel. I still have one of those scrolls on me,
But it would take us all the way to Narashiro.
take us to Narashiro, which is obviously not ideal.
Is there a way to simply reconfigure the scroll to our needs?
Possibly. I am not certain. It would be at a risk. Bear in mind the last time I attempted to investigate some of Cinnabel's magic, I rendered the blood of Vivrith's faithful in the communion wine bottle inert.
Yes. Didn't you just? I remember that.
So I would not say that I am confident, but it would probably not be impossible.
Well, let's check in with our cohorts and see what is new beyond this. It may change our plan.
Botov may well have more precise information already.
Back inside, Botov is there, and Botov says, I don't know shit about this.
Fair.
I've been keeping my hands away from the machinists. They tend to have keen eyes about their secrets. And they have been working on more secrets, that is all I know. And I have been keeping away from the streets as everyone has been in a frenzy about it. All I know is that a crime has definitely occurred. If this is the scapegoat, then it is probably Skyn using what has already happened in the city to his advantage, which would be quite fitting of him.
So, this crime is something we are not aware of. It has nothing to do with our actions.
Unless you can be in two places at once.
Perhaps we've misjudged the situation.
Maybe I should go speak to the prison warden.
We may have misjudged the situation a touch, but I would still hazard that Skarhane intends to turn perhaps a chance occurrence to his advantage. He would know well that we are a party not comprised entirely of dwarves. He may well know, or at least I would assume he knows, that one of our number is an ascendant of Ivrith. He would likely assume.
Does stand out.
He would likely assume that we would have interest in an usurper elf being taken, even if it was not his original design.
Oshun, do you think it's worth the risk? You could be walking into a trap.
It is my place to guide my people.
That's not what I asked.
I mean that the temptation to go is one of instinctual duty. However, I can still yet perceive that it might not be the best course of action. However, my guiding code of being in the sisterhood demands that I seek out a sister in her time of need.
That's all.
Yes.
Pops out from the baby's mouth.
Your swarm self. Could you send off some of the individuals of your swarm on reconnaissance?
I would need to be close to them for them to return to me, but yes.
If you accompanied Lady Oshun to the prison, could some of your swarm scope out the dungeon?
That would be an illegal action, but yes.
I don't think rats are held to authority. If you're
Catch-Al
comfortable
just
with it.
stares blankly at you because, of course, those aren't actually her eyes.
Right.
So it's just like you're looking, and it's looking like through you.
Well,
I assume you can.
you could also, if something were to go awry, if some parts of you were to appear here back at the manor, it would be enough to alert everyone else that something has gone wrong.
That is true. I would be able to send them as messengers, at least.
Very well.
Out of curiosity,
We are very curious about Catch-All.
out of curiosity, your ability to communicate with Ultura, does that mean you are able to communicate over long distances with others, rather than sending an individual back? No.
That is negative. I was created by Ulksua, given a chance at life on this plane by Ulksua. As such, my mind is tied to hers, and messages can be sent quite easily from her to me, not vice versa.
The family chat.
One day I must see those papers she has detailing your creation. That sounds fascinating. But
With
anyway, yes.
Catch-All's consent.
I believe Catch-All has already given consent for that. Looks questioningly at Catch-All.
I do not have the controlling rights for my creation, as neither do your organic forms.
That little Ashal told you so.
Right, well, Oshun, if you must go, take Kacha with you, and Kacha while you're there, try to get the lay of the land.
Affirmative.
I'm not
Discreetly.
sure Catch-All is one of your citizens. Might we address Catch-All with some level of courtesy, seeing as how she is a direct actor on Okshua's behalf?
I don't think it's presumptuous of me to assume that Kacha is here to aid in our endeavors, and as I am chief among those endeavors, I thought delegating a simple task was within my purview.
Catch-All, Bogdan meant please.
Catch Al will just
Let's go.
shuffle to Ocean's side. Yeah, okay, cool. You two can head off. Where are you?
Just like, what? Just ask something.
As they leave, Ashal will say to Bogdan, "For what it is worth, I believe in this case this might actually be the best course of action."
The best course out of what, though?
Let us hope that her instincts serve us this time, instead of charging headfirst into more danger.
Well, we still have power as diplomats of Ultura. She has power as a priestess of Ivrith that grants her a degree of diplomatic immunity, assuming that Skarhane is not tearing up every book on international relations that has been written.
But you must understand that our enemy is at least as intelligent as we are, which means that if we start leaving behind breadcrumbs, and the linking incident is the presence of Oshun, that will certainly lead back to us. Hopefully, our heist went completely unnoticed.
Just the cover will be that Oshun turns up at so many places because yes, she's a priestess, but mostly she's sleeping around.
She's looking for lesbians.
I was just there because she was hot,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. You don't even need a cover, really. You are just genuinely doing your diplomat thing and seducing people, because that's what diplomats
Is that
do.
a diplomat thing?
It
Yeah.
is for Narashiro. I
Did
even
you
said
not
on Twitter
hear
recently. I put a picture of Cinnabelle on Twitter, and it was like, "Oh, that hot." I was like, "Oh, she's down for that. She's a sex therapist, in that she's a therapist and she will have sex with you." That's basically Cinnabelle's job / holy duty.
Did you not hear about that species of ape that resolves all of their conflicts with sex?
Yeah,
Are they called
humans.
humans?
So, Oshun, where are you going? You're walking down the street with Catcha Owl. Where are you headed?
Gonna head towards the prisons.
Go knock on the palace door.
Hello.
You don't know where these prisons are.
I will go to Harrenhal in that case.
Harrenhal is a good lead at all times. Harrenhal is doing her usual duty. She does look a little surprised to see you walking up, because the last thing you did to her was shove her away. No, she shoved you away. Still, same diff in this situation. But we'll give you a... Does she give you a down nod or an up nod? This is very important.
It's got to be the up nod.
I think it would be the up nod, even though I at first thought it might be a down nod. I think it would be an up nod. And she will address her stance and ask... You always come to the cathedral with purpose, Oshun. What purpose do you have today?
Sometimes my purpose is simply to reforge connections with those of other realms. However, at the... God, what's it called? The town centre?
The bazaar. The grand bazaar.
At the bazaar.
Bazaar!
Bazaar!
The bazaar.
I heard of a
I was
system.
about to type that.
Joke stolen. I'm stealing everyone's jokes. I stole Lightning's joke earlier. I stole Ronnie's joke just now.
You're an IRL rogue.
A dark elf who had been apprehended. It is my duty as a Narshidoian priestess to seek her out in her time of need. Would you know where this person will be housed?
It is interesting. It is a thing of note that usually a prisoner, especially a prisoner of the state, would be held within this cathedral, but this one is not. They are holding her at the very place she was captured.
Is that unusual? It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
It is unusual to be in love with anyone. It is unusual, but legally, this is land owned by the Treaty of the Deep, not by the city proper. This is, I do not have the patience or understanding for the machinery of tinkerers and inventors, but it is their machinery chapel. I do not know what the word for it is. I can show you there and perhaps see if I can lend you aid in your affair here.
I would appreciate that very much, Harrenhal. Onward.
There's a nod. I am the one who
Is
gets
it a
to say
downward
onward.
nod this time?
Yeah. And she will lead you to the Machinist's District, which you actually haven't been in before. It extends out from the rest of the wall, very much upon its own. The ground supports that house, that grow from it, where there are a lot of elevators for cargo and things like that. There are a lot more metallic buildings, a lot of buildings with high smoking chimneys, and she will lead you to a structure that looks newer and neater than the rest. You know, red and black brick stone, metal roofing, all of these sorts of things. But noticeably, no windows. When Harrenhal speaks to the guards to enter, the guards are not dwarves. They are short, fully cloaked in very heavy, dark cloaked individuals to the point you can't see a thing about them. Which is actually...
Is this the Narashido embassy?
No, he's like frigging summoned fiends or something.
Oh
like that.
shit.
A
This is where I get my
forked
tattoo
tail
on.
hides behind the cloak.
It's actually just more rats.
It's rats all the way down. But you are allowed in. You can see the door locks twist and turn on the machinery of the door, and you will open. There is even a hiss of air as you enter a completely dark environment with not a single torch light. To To the point that I think Catch Al actually kind of... Catch Al's gonna have to hold your hand. Catch Al can't see in the dark.
Oh,
Um,
Catch
I'm pretty sure Catch Al can't see in the dark. Not as well as you guys, anyway. They're rats, so they can sense in the dark, but they can't see in the dark.
Come along, Catch Al.
Yeah. Catch Al can see in the dark as well as Ocean can. Ocean can't see in the dark very well either. So maybe you're both bumping into things.
Hold hand. No, I don't want to die.
You enter a workshop, grinding and shifting, where you can hear machinery moving and working and the muttering of the people working there. Despite the darkness, it does not seem an incredibly oppressive environment, to the point that there is actually even song being played.
So while you work, la, 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 la.
Yeah, essentially.
That's very stereotyping of my people.
But these are not dwarves, Bogdan! The people who are actually working on the assembly lines, which are not fully assembly lines, there's a lot of inventing and stuff going on, are not as fully cloaked as they are outside, but they are still fully encompassed and clothed. Usually the same sort of shorter than a dwarf. Tiny vampires. Harrenhal will say and admit, and even that, and she's like, ugh. It's like, yeah, because see in the dark, it's a strain though. Well, I imagine we would need to speak to whoever's in charge if we want to talk to this prisoner.
Indeed. Can I cast about?
Yeah. It will take you a bit, but you can work out who's in charge. They don't look any much different, but it's the individual that others are running towards to talk and show and check things. The items they are making are very strange to you, Ocean. They are these long stone and metal things with two spokes. They're very weird. They don't really look to anything that you would know. And eventually you would recognize one of these individuals is their leader. They are wearing, essentially imagine Iron Man's first suit. It is like a suit of metal and armor that completely encompasses their body and an incredibly large backpack. And again, completely like pitch black. There is not a hint of light in here. And they are quite short as well. They are working on things with various tools you don't know the meaning of, although for Oshun that means it could be anything, because Oshun has no knowledge on machines. And they won't notice you going up to talk to them. They are too busy at their work.
It's just Tesh's character.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hail! Warden.
There's a
a
slight
moment?
jump and clattering of metal.
Oh shit. Hail.
Oh, you don't need to keep your voice down here. No, voice. You could be as loud as you wish, I suppose. Who are you?
Hello.
You do see the lenses of their helmet do kind of like they zoom back essentially out of whatever magnification they were on.
Just look up, zoom out, zoom out.
Yeah, basically he will take a step back as well to like actually see the whole of you.
I'm a representative of Narashiro. I am a diplomat. And I've heard from the bazaar that one of my sisters is currently in your care. I am respecting my duty to visit with the captive during their time to counsel them through a dark moment.
I don't have the best of memory at the best of times, but I think I'd recognize someone who looks quite a bit like you. I know almost all the diplomats of Narashiro, and I do not recognize or know you, but it's entirely possible that things have changed since I've been in the city. Has been quite some time.
Remember, you do have the Ultra's pin that shows we're a diplomat.
Yep, I can give the pin. So, well, I did come up rather within the last few moon cycles. How do
You
say
use years, because there's no moon, so it's just
Okay.
years.
Okay,
Seasonal
yeah.
cycles, I imagine. you'd
Seasonal,
say.
yeah. Last two
Um,
seasons.
he looks at the Okshua obol and kind of like, of course, interesting. Very interesting indeed. You do not speak for Narashiro, you speak for Okshua. Curious. But I don't imagine you're here to speak to the prisoner on the behalf of Okshua.
Oh no, we happened to be in the area as we toured for Alshua. We basically, God, what do we fucking do?
We're trying to.
We have reaffirmed bonds between distant civilizations, cities,
Not both.
settlements. Yes.
Well,
And
bonds do need
I'm
to be
first
quite
and
firm.
foremost a priestess of Ifrith.
Okay. That's fine. I don't know if you. Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't think it would be entirely safe for you to speak with the unfortunately captured. That does somewhat strike alarm bells in my head as a bad idea. I don't want to be. I don't want to be mean or unfortunate about it. It just seems, and the king did say that it probably would be best to keep them away from everyone. If we have any other prisoners here, it would be quite. I'm not really in the business of keeping prisoners.
Well, I won't insist. However, I would like to reaffirm that perhaps our cultures are different. It's deeply important for the life of a resident of Narashiro to speak to a priestess in their time of need, especially should they be executed. It would be vitally important for them to be able to pass into Ivrith's realm peacefully. I mean, you can't imagine what the high priestesses of Narashiro might say if they knew that a sister had become lost in your territory.
I can imagine what they would say about
Your rules will
her.
be respected completely. If she is to be executed, that is not my place to intervene. However, to give a woman rights, her last rights, you would not deny her.
I knew this prisoner, and I also know that she wasn't living in Narashiro for the last half decade or so at the very least, and may even be wanted by the culture of Narashiro for the very same threat of punishment that she might be receiving here. And I wouldn't have wanted to come to that regardless, whether she were here or there or somewhere else. I don't think it would be very appropriate to kill her. In fact, I tried to stop it before. He does just kind of slump. It might be acceptable for you to talk with her. I just do not know. Well, I don't know if she'll be very responsive to you, but perhaps. Perhaps.
I deeply appreciate your assistance.
He will wipe at one of the eye lenses of his helmet with a rag and put it in a little
Is his
pocket.
head boob height at all?
No,
Is it
he's
boob
like
height?
4 foot tall. So
Damn it.
he's like
Crotch height.
he's crotch height to Oshun. Yeah, he is.
Just, you know,
Um,
bend over onto him.
Well, it'll probably be like probably throw my back out if it did that. Also, I can't really lower my face now that I don't have my mask on anymore. Here, hold my baby. That always works, doesn't it?
There was a blow your back out joke, but I didn't get there fast enough. So.
Good. We would never be lewd here. Never. Rofi can lead you.
It is Rofi. I couldn't remember his name.
In a little bit further away into where they have a bit of a makeshift prison.
That's what I said, Jacob.
He will be. He doesn't move particularly fast because he's not very happy about having a prisoner here. And when he gets around a corner and puts a key into a mechanism to lift a portcullis to reveal the dungeons of the workshop, you can actually see flickering light within one of the cells at the very, very back.
I will make eye contact with Catch-Al. Just that it's the Hannibal room. It's the last room at the end of the hall.
It is the Hannibal room. It's exactly the Hannibal room. Yeah, this is basically that place. Yeah.
I wonder if I can indicate that she could leave two of her rats by the door in case.
You give a look and you'd even see a little scuttle of rats in the dark before they go out of your vision range. No, don't try and have secret messages with Catch-Al. Catch-Al is telepathic.
Oh shit! Oh yeah! Ocean's gonna start doing this and then just be thinking it anyway.
Yeah, more useful to think it.
That.
Do you go down to the prison cell?
Yes, Clarice.
As you walk down, you see that sparking of light get closer, casting strange shadows through the bars of the cell. Rofi does not follow. Rofi stays at the entrance, either to keep away from the light or just let you have your time with the prisoner. When you round the corner, and have Catch-Al as well, there is, in the corner of this dungeon, a crumpled up, injured, faded usurper elf. As she turns to look at you, you see these very deep scars across her face and neck and chest that spark with electricity, and it clearly hurts her.
It is.
Being a usurper elf yourself, you can tell when someone is naturally aged or faded. It seems that this individual would have been quite young, maybe 200 or so, but has aged beyond her years with sharp, stark lines as well as these incredibly painful-looking wounds. Any equipment she had on her has been taken, but she's still wearing a light kind of bodysuit. There are also straight-up, injector ports on her body that she has seemingly added. There is also a tattoo kind of among the scars, but it's incredibly garbled on her cheeks because there's just a big streak wound running through it. She looks at you with sharp, quizzical eyes and disinterest. Well, there's one of us in this city, and it's a freak like me, I'd imagine.
Sister, I can see by looking at you that you've come far, and you are in perhaps one of the lowest points you ever have been. I heard of your capture in the middle of the town square from the lips of the king. I'm here to offer what I hope may not be your last rites, and to give you whatever it is that I can to ease your pain.
This pain cannot be eased by anything.
This wound will never heal.
Well, that probably would have been what she would have said next. I have tried potions, incantations, infusions, healing from wizards and clerics alike. There is nothing short but turning back the clock that can return me to my majesty. But if there's anything our people know, it's that there is power through pain. She strains as there's an arc of electricity that runs through her.
I could offer you many things. However, I do not know why it is you have been arrested.
She shifts to lean on her arms and gives you a long look. Despite what you may say and what you may wear, you are not loyal to Narashiro. You're loyal to yourself, you're carving out your own path. I have nothing to say to that. Leave me be, priestess. I really can give you nothing.
From looking at me, you read much. However, there is much that you seem to not be able to see. I carve my own path, as it is guided by the hearts of those who I meet and come across. You should know this. If you're so astute, you should know that I'm here for you and to give you what you need.
Is it possible that Ivrith will grant you the ability to open up these locks and have me traipse out of this place without a kill team of dwarves chasing? No, it's not, is it?
I suspect that that is what you want. It might not be what you need. I could give you this. However, I need you to be honest with me.
I was honest once. I was very good for a time. Despite the ways of our people, my honesty did me very well. It's led me here, and it's led me to everywhere before here as well. If it appeases you, if it makes you feel better within your breast to talk to a withered, pain-stricken prisoner, then feel free to stay. I'm sure you'll get a lot out of this. You won't get any secrets to the meaning of life or anything of the sort, but maybe you'll feel a little better about whatever you've done wrong in your past, or whatever anxieties are held in your head. But I won't get anything out of this. So feel free to stay and talk if you want.
You are smart enough. You've shown this. You know that I could help you in many ways. However, you refuse to say anything. Why? Are you trying to punish yourself? Do you deserve this? Tell me what it is that you've done, and I will see about giving it the gift that you most desire.
You can be a persuasion check.
Yeet.
I'm forgetting
For
all
you
the
speak
names.
of drawing back the clock. I've met him. Mr. Time. I'm gonna get a bad persuasion, and I know it. Come on, +6 persuasion. Come on. All right.
21's pretty good. Years ago, I was one of Lathura Dorneb's most chosen advisors. I was not one, I was 5. And I was brilliant. Kind of brilliance you can't even hope to dream of when shackled under the church. And I was allowed to do everything I could dream of. And I made brilliant things and did brilliant things, and it was brought down by a devil in gold. And
Even I know that.
And then our Daimao was obliterated in Aether Fire. And now she's returned. But you do not serve her. I can see that you have considered such a thing. I see that you understand the weight of such a thing. But as I say, I am loyal to Lathura in whatever form she takes. Do you still wish to help me now?
You know that I do not serve any one single king or queen or emperor. I serve those who I look upon and see my children. I look upon you and I see a brilliant daughter. And I want to give you what you need. However, I cannot allow you to hurt yourself or your other siblings of this realm. Thank you for sharing with me. I will consider what it is to do. And I will ask you one last time, as it is possible that you might be running out of it. Is there anything else I can give to you that will allow you rest and for you to pass on peacefully?
I suppose I will give it my full and attentive thought over whatever time I have left.
Last eye contact, and Oshun will begin to leave.
As you leave, as you get to the door where Rofi was waiting, you notice Catch Owl's rats returning to her at a rapid pace. And you hear the clattering of weapons and the sharp sound. There's a booming sound followed by lightning bolts over and over. What do you do? This is outside. This is around the corner up the stairs.
Round the corner up the stairs, Oshun will immediately legs out, spider climb onto the ceiling, and is Catcher Owl able to scurry, or do I have to scoop?
You can scoop up Catcher Owl.
I scoop up Catcher Owl.
Do you want to hide up on the ceiling in the shadows?
Yes.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
I'm going to hide.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage too because I respect the hustle here.
The spider.
And also, Catcher Owl has an illusion around herself constantly, and she can make you both look more stealthy. She can kind of cloud things.
Oh!
A natural
Fucking
20 stealth roll is pretty fucking swish there. I will admit it. You see one of the cloaked individuals clatter down the stairs. Their weapon, one of these strange stone things of 2 prongs, clattering around beside them and clattering onto the very floor. they kind of lay as a bit of a crumple, and you see them raise their helmet, and you see that they look like a gnome, but a gnome comprised of pure darkness, all the color bleached from them. But their eyes grow wide as there is
like you do.
A streak of light comes down from the stairs, which makes this darkling instantly age and turn to dust.
Oh shit!
Down the stairs
Mr. Time?
walks
Lathura.
Lathura Dawnebb in her fell lich form. There is a crackling of arcane magic around her, and as she looks upon, at this point there's Rofi and there's probably two other darkling gnome soldiers kind of holding the line. She will raise her arm, and a fog of acrid, ashen cloud will flow from around her and will start burning and melting their equipment. You see Rofi kind of like, their equipment from their backpack will kind of like hunker down and basically make like a little orb, like a little crab shell orb on the ground and kind of vent out as much of it as possible. But the other two, just, you see them just melt to bone against the acidic cloud, which doesn't hit you, you're on the ceiling. And Lathura will waltz down the hallway and just kind of order the cloud to melt the bars of the prison cell. And will say to the prisoner, "You are lucky that I was returned from the dead to get you out of this problem, as I have gotten you out of many others, Tanuma." And we'll extend one hand. Tanuma will kind of awkwardly get out of the prison cell, still arcing with electricity, and then Lathura will twist arcane magic around her and teleport, bringing her, Tanuma, and a good chunk of the cloud away. You can kind of see it swirl into the air that was left as their material bodies disappeared. And leaving nothing but the choking, gasping breath of some of the dying engineers in this hallway and above. But you, Oshun and Catcher Owl,
Can I also be holding Harrenhal?
Harrenhal was upstairs. We'll get to Harrenhal
I want
later.
to save her life.
She's dead.
She's
We'll
fucking
get-
dead, Dave.
We'll get to Harrenhal next week,
No.
as Oshun survived that encounter unseen on the ceiling.
Holy shit. I can't believe you. I can't believe you've done this.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Well, as the plot thickens, that's all the time we have for today.
We're fucked. We're just fucked.
No, this works for us.
Says Ian. hopefully.
It discredits Scarhane's ability to hold a prisoner. It discredits
That's
his power
true.
in his
That's
base
true.
of
Imagine
operation.
No, we need to
the
work
interview
together
after
with it
this.
now.
Isn't
We
it
don't.
true that there was that a prisoner was teleported out of your prison? It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, oh, I'm not answering.
Are you Spider-Man?
Literally the same day, he made a big grand speech about having his prisoner
How
broken out.
embarrassing! How embarrassing! Yeah, that's true. It's a very good point, Ian. You're ready to spin this as an advisor should.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the prospective king's advisor. I am the spin master.
Spin doctor here. Hell yeah! Well, that's, like I said, all the time we've got time for today. Why don't we talk a little bit about what else we've got going on, starting with Jake and
Hello, everybody. I'm Jake. This Sunday, the 19th, 6 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be doing session 1 of our brand new campaign, Embers of the Veil. We're playing in the system Worlds Without Number,
yes!
and it's going to be dope. Of the 4 party members, not 1, not 2, but 3 of them only have 1 hit point. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah. Is World of Outnumber the same as Stars of Outnumber, where like the PCs have like 6 HP and a gun deals like a weapon does like a D12?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. That was unfortunate when we played Stars of Outnumber, but does make sense. It does make sense.
Well, World of Number also has shock damage, which means they
Yes.
could literally die to a miss, which is so exciting.
You're just the devil.
It is the campaign is set in a world of my design, and it's kind of like a western, like an American western told through a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Is it very Dark Tower?
I have no idea because I don't have any knowledge of that. Never seen the movie, nor have I read the series.
I think the
Sorry.
movie's not very
It's
good.
a movie. There is a movie.
Yeah, you know,
I think
Idris
the movie
Elba.
wasn't very good.
Idris
Yeah.
Elba?
Yeah,
Yeah,
He
he plays the
star.
gunslinger.
Hell
Yeah. Anyway,
I know what I'm
we're
doing.
we're really excited. So if anyone wants to come over to twitch.tv/JaganZol and catch our session 1, come hang out. It'd be a lot of fun, and we'd love to see you. And as always, Ollie, thanks for having me. The campaign is really fun, and now I don't know what we're gonna do. So
We're just fucking dead.
Yeah, I let you have your moment of confidence. You know,
Oh
you're
my
returning to the
God.
city, giant head in tow. Here, we've got a plan. We're gonna execute the plan. Here's a fucking tangent nuke landing
I
in your
was
city.
talking about, I was talking about flipping the board.
No shit.
We just had the board flipped on us.
Which is exactly what
Slapped us in
Lithera
the
wants to
face.
do at all times. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the point that she nuked the board once.
Yes. She was losing, so she nuked the board.
Because
Oh
she
my
thought she was going to
God.
be resurrected by Tanuma. Now, well,
You want to get the rest of that soul.
you're going to need a big old gem to hold it. But you know who's a big gem? It's Ian.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Ian, and I normally go straight into like sub to the Patreon stuff. I just want to say, as the only party member who has been through everything, what Ollie is doing here, I love and I hate it because it's like our partial success in A Mother's Love, sort of success, killing Lithera, killing most of her, or maiming most of her frigging
You
subordinates.
only maimed Tanuma.
And now frigging Lithera's back. The Man Priestess is worse. Tanuma, the
Bigger,
one bad
better.
Tanuma, the one bad Tanuma who survived, the one who didn't like renounce evil, is back. Ollie is bringing back
There's-
the evil guys for the bonus season, the sequel finale, like 10 years later.
It's the
Like-
Suicide Squad.
The second group has to finish what the first couldn't. And I love and hate this. All I want is for frigging Serena to come back and be on our side anyway.
I want to be Serena.
Anyway, yes. If you are enjoying this, there is more content available.
No, that's not
available
okay.
on Ollie's Patreon, including a Monday game, which has started back up in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Which is a bit
you
more
spent the
traditional
last
D&D.
3 weeks in a dungeon crawl. It's not even a
Yeah,
big dungeon.
Yeah,
It's just
we just sucked.
slow.
And we did just spoilers. There was a very difficult battle on Monday. Yeah, you'll want to listen to that. I won't give any more spoilers than that. Yeah, check that out for $5 a month. You get access to that. You also get access to a bi-weekly Tuesday game,
Tuesday game.
which
It's not a
is
secret if you pay for it.
which is
I use it to fall asleep.
which is
Boring. No.
which is a lot of fun, and that's theoretically a lot more like positive vibes than this game, I suppose, because it's sort of Pokemon.
Sort of Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it's not like a Pokemon game where everything is nice and happy and no bad ever happens.
Yes.
But
Poor Sydney doesn't have a dad, for instance.
yeah. And
And you've got 2.
I've got 2 dads, and Sydney has none. And I will never get over. I will never get over the fact that just Sydney's like defining character trait is whenever they see someone with a dad,
Oh.
they have a dad.
It has become a running joke, which is
It has.
hilarious.
Yes, but go sub to Ollie's Patreon, and if you want to find out what I'm talking about and who like Lefura, Tanuma, all of these people are, watch the final season of A Mother's Love. It's going to set you up so well for presumably what's going to be what's potentially going to be the next season of this, or maybe the season after. Don't know. Maybe a few seasons down the line. Who knows? But
You really think we're gonna die? After this
You
too?
have the whole plan being you wanted to get Bogdan to become king so that you could have the clout to deal with Lethura when the time's right. Just you've been reminded that Lethura is not waiting. Lethura is doing stuff.
oh yeah, absolutely, and I never doubted that. I just knew that if we went against her right then and there, we'd be even more screwed. So.
I wonder if Oshun would have survived that acid cloud if she was within range. I don't know.
I mean, Shun has like 36 hit points, so if that's like a cloud kill, it would have been within range HP wise. It would have been theoretically possible for Ocean to have died then and
Could have
there.
melted that mama.
Yeah.
No, don't melt the mama.
Yes. Anyway, I'll stop now.
Yeah, Zoe, go ahead.
So much. Yay! We're working on Schism. We're working together. We're writing lots of things. I really want us to have a secret podcast, but we're still working on that as well. And by working, I mean I am manipulating people into getting what I want.
You should be doing market research on podcasts of a similar type.
I am. I just listen to a lot of podcasts
That's true.
and know that ours would be really good.
Well,
Here, yes. Working on this story that I think is really cool for the Jarviskjir world, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
yeah, a story that has less liches in it right now.
Right now.
Right
I was
now.
trying to make a pun, but it wouldn't work.
Lich content of story currently 0.
Currently zero.
Days since last story involving Lich.
Days since last Lich encounter.
Yeah.
Well, and me, all the other stuff's already been covered. This show is supported by Patreon. I do other streams at the moment, although they're a little slower right now because I have, I'm taking it easy. I'm taking it as easy as possible. So we are going to bounce, and I am going to see you all next time.
It'll be our last episode.
Not if we see you first.